Hey guys, my name's Jason, and if any of you guys have been following along, you know that I have had a few different types of traction boards. Every single time, it has not been an issue with whether they can get me out of a situation, it's how durable are they. So I picked these up from Vicoffroad USA. They are pretty durable and they feel pretty similar to the maxtrax in terms of build quality and rigidity. Whereas my other ones did feel pretty close, but they just didn't fit the way I liked. One thing I like about these is they stack pretty close together. They pack down pretty thin, and when I put them on the roof, they're actually lower profile than my maxtrax here. I'm going to be switching to these and getting rid of the maxtrax. I want to show you how durable these things are, because I don't think you should have to spend $300 on these when you can buy these for about $100 or less. So the first one, I'm just going to jump on it. So in this situation, let's just say that the passenger side is a lot higher than the driver's side, so I would just go ahead and slide a traction board under each of these, and it should be able to push you up quite a bit. Basically all I've done here is just put the weight of the vehicle on it, which is pretty much the most basic of tests. So here we're just going to put the board in between 2 points and just show how much it flexes. This is very useful when you're climbing up something, or if you need to bridge in between 2 points where there's a pretty big dip. Now this actually flexes out a lot, and if you put 2 of them together especially, they're very rigid. So since I have a lift, the bottle jack is not going to do a whole lot. If you don't have a lift on your 4Runner or whatever vehicle you have, then you're likely to be able to use the stock one. And as you can see here, it fits perfectly fine on there. I went ahead and put some pressure on it, but it's not going to lift the vehicle off the ground. Or if it does, it's not going to be enough to change the tire. You can see that there's some small marks on it, but that's completely aesthetic. And I would say this is actually pretty much a win. So since I have a lift, I need to use this farm jack, and this is actually what the indention on the traction boards is made for, to be able to lift up the vehicle. So I'm not going to lift it up all the way. Even though I'm not putting the entire weight of the vehicle on it, I'm still putting quite a load on it. Putting pressure on this point, you can see that there's really no damage or anything to it. So guys, as far as I understand, this is in no way, shape, or form a proper technique to winching. This is just a test of the durability of the traction boards. Now that stump over there is obviously dead, it's not a live tree. If you are going to use a tree to winch yourself out, use a tree saver strap. So the bottom of these are completely fine. I checked them out. The vehicle was in neutral, but I was applying the brakes, so I don't know how well of a test that is, but whatever that was, it survived it. So I actually met up with the Afro Overlander on Instagram, and he's been running his for much longer than I have. I wanted to see the overall lasting difference that sitting out in the sun made. And as far as I can tell, he's been running them for a long time and there's been no fading. Now sometimes you'll see traction boards that have been sitting out in the sun and they get this sort of faded look to it. Now basically it's only aesthetic, but I don't want to pay 80 to 100 bucks to something and it just start fading. So far these ones have not faded at all. So far I've been really happy with these. I finally got these mounted up to the 4Runner and I've really liked them. They've held up to the sun just fine. Just did a trail the other day, so they're pretty dusty, but they are perfectly fine in the sun. There's not been any damage that I can note anywhere on here other than a few scratches just from the mounting plate, but it's not really even noteworthy. So if you're thinking about going route for a very cheap traction board that is going to hold up pretty good, I think this is the way to go. I was using some X-Bulls before, and while I thought those were pretty okay, I just didn't like the way that those stacked, so I think these are a lot better. So when I told Vicoffroad USA that I was doing this video, they actually sent me this farm jack, and I've been testing it out here and there. I've not fully lifted the vehicle up with this off the ground, but I've put some load on it and I've tested it in various situations, and so far I've really liked it. I'll post a video below on some farm jack safety that you guys should follow, because while I trust this one, it doesn't mean that these are 100% safe. If you get yourself caught in this area right here, if you're looking for a farm jack, you want something that's high quality but in the mid price range, I think this is a really good option. I really like it, and yeah, I've been using it, and this is my new farm jack that I use. I think this one held up pretty well, and so far I've really liked this farm jack. If you like this video, you can check out one here or over here, or you can subscribe right here.